I hereby congratulate Team Poseidon for their win in the Olympics Readathon and the Shelf Space Discord server.
Excuse me.
Yeah, what?
You are in Team Poseidon. It is your team.
Oh, really?
Your team
it's
won
my team?
the Readathon.
My team won? That's great. Oh. Yes, you heard correctly. We won. Team Poseidon won the Olympics Readathon in the Shelf Space Discord server. And I'm here to tell you about the winning books that I read in the month of June during this readathon. So I was able to finish 7 books out of the 11 I planned to read in the month of June. So let's get started. So the first book I'm going to talk about is Laconic Words. I talked about this in the book haul. I'm gonna put that in the cards. This is the cover. I chose this one for the Aphrodite prompt. Has a beautiful cover. Unfortunately, this one does not have a translation in English or in any other language. So this book tells about this radio program called Laconic Words, and whenever it's on the radio, any person can call the host and tell a sentence, and this is sort of like an aphorism of that person. So the host gives some general themes like love, death, life, and Sulhi Saygılı, who always goes on this radio program, and he says some really profound sentences. So the narrator of this book tries to, at least that's how I understood it, the narrator tries to guess the life of Sulhi Saygılı, this really famous participant of this radio program. So yeah, and it's not clear if these predictions are right or wrong. So it seems as if the narrator tells the reader their predictions, but these predictions might be correct, and the narrator, like this omniscient narrator, talks about the true life of the Sulhi Saygılı. So the next book I'm going to mention here is it's just a collection of poems by Nazım Hikmet. This one I chose this one for the Dionysus prompt. I had a different book, but I chose to read some poetry. Nazım Hikmet was a Turkish poet who influenced deeply the Turkish literature and Turkish poetry. So in this collection of poems, there are some love poems, and Nazım Hikmet was unfortunately imprisoned. So there are also some poems of his imprisonment, and he was exiled. So there are also some poems that he wrote in Moscow and Varna. I know there's a translated work of Nazım Hikmet. Maybe I think there are a couple, but I think that translation of poetry is really difficult, and I really hope that those editions did his work justice. I'm going to find the pictures and put them over here. So if you ever got a chance, I really suggest you to check his work out. Yes, so this I heavily suggest you to read about his work and of course his life. The next book is Ay Hırsızı by Suna Yakın. The translation is Moon Thief the translation of the title is Moon Thief. So this book is a collection of short stories, but the short stories are from history. and the main theme is air, the sky, the space. These are the main themes, and Snøyken presents some connections between some historical events concerning Turkey and other countries such as Russia, USA, because the race to the moon, also some other countries as well. I don't think this one has the translation. I really like Snøyken's short stories and how he presents these historical anecdotes. I enjoy his writing style. And the next up on the list is Slaughterhouse 5. And before that, I forgot to mention that I chose Moon Thief for Artemis, now Slaughterhouse 5 for Ares. This was my third book by Kurt Vonnegut Jr. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the time travel, and I enjoyed how Kurt Vonnegut, I think, chose to put time travel in this story to show us the PTSD of Billy Pilgrim, his character. So in the first chapter, we see that the author, Kurt Vonnegut, wrote the character Billy Pilgrim based on his own experience, because Kurt Vonnegut actually fought in the World War II, and he was in Dresden when it got bombed. We watch Billy Pilgrim as he travels in time, and as he goes back and forth in the time warp, and we see glimpses of his life. And for those, for those who are really dedicated Kurt Vonnegut readers, there are some Easter eggs that I caught because I read this one other book. I'm not going to spoil it because I think, when I first discovered it, I was really happy to know that character. I think it will be a good, fun way for you to discover without knowing it. And then I've read Shadows of Self by Brandon Sanderson. That one was for Athena prompt. In the month of May, I read The Alloy of Law. And I think I enjoyed Shadows of Self more than The Alloy of Law. I really want to see where the story is going, and I really like the final twist. I didn't see that coming. And so for those who are thinking of going forward with the Era 2, one suggestion I can give you is you should think this era as, of course, separate from Era 1, and the tone is also really different. It's a new era, so the characters from Era 1 are legends to Scadrial of Era 2. And then I've read Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire for the Hephaestus prompt. This is the copy I had. And so I'm doing a reread of the Harry Potter series, and I recently posted the video book for book 3. You can check it out. I'll post the playlist in the cards. I really like this book, and I think this one is a really big improvement after the first 3 in the series. I really enjoy the mystery aspect. I really like to think the answers to the essential questions, and after every page turn there are more and more questions. I'm going to go deeper in my analysis in the dedicated review, so I'm not going to say anymore. And finally, the Poseidon book, the winner book, because the Poseidon books had double points, because the book for your own prompt gives double points to the team. And for me, it was A Storm of Swords by George R. R. Martin. Well, I haven't really talked about Game of Thrones yet in this channel. I'm not sure if I'm going to do dedicated reviews for the books. Maybe a collective video, but we'll see. This book put the series and the characters in such places and in such levels that every theory I had while reading this book, I just threw them out of the window because they do not matter anymore. The one thing I really like about Martin's writing of the POVs is that you start to have some sympathy for the antagonists in this book and the villains as you read through their thoughts and what they've been through. It's like, well, yeah, they're bad, or I know they're good, but they also have this opposite side that contrasts their personality. But except for Joffrey. Joffrey is so that concludes my wrap up for the Olympics Readathon, and of course my wrap up for the month of June. And another shout out to my team, Poseidon. I'm going to link their pages in YouTube, Goodreads down below. I hope I'll get together with them again at the next readathon, but we'll see. And yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, please give a like. If you want to see more of me talking about books, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.